Hello, Fightful Faithful, and welcome to the Sour Graps Fightful post NXT show thing that we do on Tuesdays normally. Dang it! I am really bad at this, Kate. You do the introductions. I'm so terrible.
Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. This is your June 21st NXT post-show review with Alex Pawlowski, your host, and myself, Kate Elizabeth, and sometimes my dog Buster, who's laying on the ground right now. Get in your super chats. Get in your humper chats. Leave a thumbs up on this video. What the heck is a humper chat, one might ask? Well, let me tell you what a humper chat is. It is a URL that our boss came up with that functions very similar to a super chat where you can get your statement or question read on air. But here's the thing. Fightful gets to keep a little more of the kashish, a little more of the Tony D'Angelo kashish. You know what I mean? So if you do that, I know it's kind of like a little bit of a wonky interface, but Alex and I want raises because we had to watch this crap tonight.
That was a very good introduction. You're better at that
Thank
than
you.
I am. So I like botching it intentionally in the beginning and then throwing it to you. So the Nerd Guru says,
"Hey, fake bro, you can't go telling them that you botched it.
Oh, come on.
Protect the biz.
It's all predetermined. Kate, you and your bangs look gorgeous tonight, says the Nerd Guru.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I have nice. No makeup on, so that means even more on days like today where my hair looks like this, and I have literally nothing but concealer on. So thank you.
There you go. There you go. Well, there's no way to conceal the fact that this felt like a terrible episode of NXT 2.0.
Yeah, no, this is a swing and a miss like Lash Legend would take with her wiffle ball bat that she brought into the ring in this episode.
Yeah,
guys, leave a thumbs up because we're not going to have anything else that's going to be thumbs up inducing on the show tonight.
No, I mean, like there was one really good match that I thought advanced the storyline. Helped maybe be the breakout for one guy to move away from his terrible tag partner and become a single star. Like, that's good. But like, we'll start out with this, Kate. Like, the spoilers were out there before 2 weeks ago when they taped last week and this week. The spoilers were out.
We should note that this was a taped episode. And that is because NXT is going back on the road just on their coconut loop in Florida. So they're not hitting the road nationwide, as one might say, but they are traveling within the state.
Putting this shit on a
money
plane
for this? No,
and flying it to like Montana or something and trying to play it there?
It would have to be on a very brightly colored jet. They would have to fly Spirit Airlines because it's cheap and colorful.
Yeah.
It's like a cheap version of wrestling and very bright.
There you go. Anyway, these spoilers were out, and as soon as I read the spoilers, obviously first for last week's episode, and I was like, all right, whatever. And then I, of course, like as you do, you read things in the order that they happen.
Correct.
I came to the spoilers for tonight's episode and immediately messaged Kate and said, I'm gonna be so friggin' angry when we talk about this episode.
By far the most Alex and I have ever gossiped during an episode. And by gossip, I mean complained about creative, which we're about to do for the next 2 hours. But this was the most, I think, during an episode that I was messaging you on Instagram, being like, how did you watch Raw last night and this in a back-to-back 24-hour period? And Alex, more importantly, how are you going to survive?
I don't know. I will say this. It is a good thing that this was a pre-taped episode, because if it was live,
oh God,
Vince McMahon would have found something to come down and soak in the adulation of the rubes, and then tell us tell us something that we already knew. Like, you know, like last night on Raw, he comes out and says John Cena's going to be here next week, which we already knew. There was no reason for you to come out and do that, Vince. That was weird. But like, he probably would have come out tonight and go, by the way, NXT is now NXT 2.0, and it's not black and gold anymore. It's rainbow colored. That's what and we were like, yeah, we know. But anyway,
Your impression of him gets more accurate by the day, and it's alarming because I see more of him on my TV now. So it's like, oh boy.
So anyway, thank God this wasn't live. But what I'm going back to was the first spoiler for this episode was just Grayson Waller defeats Solo Sikoa, and I popped a blood vessel. Like it was. Why would you do that? And the thing of it is that immediately when the episode starts, they have Solo come out, and you hear Vic Joseph say, "Starting off the evening with a superstar who's got monster momentum right now. So let's squash it. Let's halt his momentum immediately for no good reason whatsoever." What, do you even hear yourselves? He's got monster momentum, so let's have him lose to Grayson Waller.
I mean, that would be like, I don't know, I'm just going to throw this out there as a hypothetical. Like if on the main roster they had Matt Riddle job to Omos for some reason, but they would never do that. Of course they would never do. Oh God, they did it last night. They did it last night, didn't they?
Yeah.
This was actually kind of disappointing to me, not just because of the booking, but I just felt like this match didn't click in the way that I was hoping it was going to, and the way that I thought it was going to, which I actually felt a lot of later on in the night as well, which we could talk to when we get to it. But like, I don't know, this just didn't feel like Grayson Waller's best, though he didn't use his ridiculous finisher, which I appreciated.
No, he did. That's how he won the damn match.
I felt like I didn't remember him leaving the ring to get in it.
No, he did. He left the ring. I mean, it's Solo Sikoa, who's monster over, and like maybe the most over guy you've got on the entire roster.
And I will say, by far, the most over guy that has organically gotten over on the roster. Like, he wasn't shoved down our throats. He was like, he just kind of naturally rose to being a very popular guy through like hard work and being appealing and being a character and not a gimmick. He has been
fantastic, riding a wave of monster momentum. So much so that like, if you told me, okay, we're calling up Bron Breakker to run a major program going into SummerSlam with somebody, and we're gonna like, we're calling him up, so we gotta put the title on somebody. Who do you put it on? If you're asking me, I get to make that call. So Sikoa is the guy. If you're not calling him up, he's just saying NXT. That's the dude, because you got to see what he can do with that level of responsibility put on his shoulders. He's already shown you he can get over like Rover with everybody. So like, he's a major top guy, and he's riding a wave of monster momentum. So he loses to Grayson Waller, who's not, by the way, riding a wave of monster momentum.
Correct.
Like, no, don't do that. That's a terrible booking decision. And I was like, you beat him clean too. Like, and everybody said, no, it wasn't clean. No, it was clean. Like, him taking the turnbuckle pad off halfway through the match, and Solo Sikoa being enough of a friggin' idiot to like run and like put his armpit into the, like, he didn't hit his head on it. He put his armpit into the exposed turnbuckle. And that set him up for the run from out of the ring, dive through the ropes, somersaulty stunner. I don't know what they call it, but that's my nickname for it. It's the run from out of the ropes, jump in, do a somersault stunner. It makes him look like even more of an idiot because he set himself up for failure. That's a terrible booking decision. It's awful. It's atrocious. It's atrocious what you've done.
Yeah, this match was not well agented at all. The only thing that I liked about it was I liked that Grayson Waller went after his feet because they're exposed, and heels should do that, and that hasn't happened a ton with him.
Yeah.
But other than that, I did not like the way this was put together. I didn't think it highlighted anybody's strengths. I didn't feel like it made anybody look particularly smart. I felt like Grayson Waller, I felt like nobody looked strong in it. Like, so Solo Sikoa didn't look strong because of the booking outcome, and Grayson Waller was kind of fighting from underneath the whole time, which a heel shouldn't do because that makes no sense.
Well, the way he reacted to getting out of there with a win, like, oh my God, I can't believe I beat this guy. Like, you should be surprised because you shouldn't have beaten him. You should be surprised they booked you to win.
But like as a top star in the promotion, you shouldn't be surprised that you win.
Jerry Pringle says the armpit is sensitive, like a video game boss. Yeah, that's what it is. He like King Hippo has a big band-aid over his belly button, so you know that's where you're supposed to hit him. A lot of people don't know the weak spot for Solo Sikoa is his right armpit.
Yeah, exposed turnbuckle especially. Turnbuckle especially. But I will say Solo Sikoa continues to impress me with his we've talked about it at length before, gimmick versus character. Like, he is a character. He reacts in the ring like he reacts in the ring. He's a really nice blend of fitting in with what the bloodline is doing. Like, sometimes his mannerisms remind me a little bit of Roman Reigns, but not like in a copycat way. Yeah. Like, he has whatever cool factor Roman Reigns has for sure. And it's just so stupid that he's not up there in this storyline. In my opinion, like it needs it. They're literally running back him and Brock. You could at least make it interesting in some sort of way. Yeah. But they're not gonna. So
no. No. I mean, this is the beginning of a prolonged. I say prolonged because anything longer than one match to me is prolonged. But it's going to be a prolonged Grayson Waller and Solo Sikoa feud to keep Solo Sikoa away from the championships for a while. Because they don't have plans for him to be champion, and he's too over, Kate. He's too over. We don't have plans for you to be champ, and the crowd wants you to be, but we don't want you to be, so let's just bog you down with this Grayson Waller feud for a while. Cool you off a bit.
In a world where they killed everything that was over, it's impressive that they think they have something that's too over, which is exactly, you're 100% right. Like, that's what it is, but they killed any momentum Bron Breakker had. Like, I think he'll be able to recover because he's Bron Breakker, but that feud, I mean, just absolutely destroyed him. Melo's doing okay. And I guess Roxy is probably the next most over thing on the roster, but we're going to talk about that, won't we, buddy?
We sure will. Eric Freeds says, hey, Alex and Kate, just wanted to say, great show, favorite part of Fightful. Thank you, Eric Freeds.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Makes me feel very, very good. We try and be entertaining.
Watching the crap we just watched worth it when you guys send in nice messages like that. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Because, buddy, if you guys didn't tune in, we're not watching this stuff.
Bill Alphabet, very helpfully, I believe, has an idea for what we should call Grayson Waller's finisher. It's called the "That's No Your Finisher," but he's not the Italian guy. He's the
but say it in his accent now.
That's no your finisher.
Yeah, I think that works.
That's not a knife. That's a knife. That's not your finisher. That's your finisher. There you go. Gotta get some Crocodile Dundee in there. Throw a couple of shrimps on the barbie. There you go.
Foster's Australian for finisher. Nailed it. Fosters, feel free to email Sean at fightful.com for sponsorship opportunities like the brilliant read you just received for free right here on the NXT post show.
Yeah. There you go. We got Zach, the AEW mod, says, I just found out I am getting promoted on July 1st. I am happy about this. I love this community and my membership to the SGS. Stay sour, my friends. Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations. And also, you're a fucking homer for AEW, I guess, because you put the wrestling that you like in your handle. That's me being an internet mark.
There you go.
Congratulations, though. That's awesome. And we also love the SGS. That's why we're here.
Yes. JW Pringle says, Tuesday already. Council of Marks guides our way. Paul Elizabeth, may we always make you proud. Alex continues to be the sourest. Kate continues to add a little sweep. May Gabagool keep us all fat and happy.
And with your spirit.
Well, at least fat. I don't know how happy we can be watching this crap. And Paul Elizabeth says, happy solstice to Team Kalex, Sir Pringle, the Council of Marks, and the SGS. Summer starts here, winter down under.
That's right.
True.
First day of winter in Australia.
First day of winter. It's crazy to me.
I wonder if Grayson Waller will break out some winter outfits.
He should just start showing up in a parka and big fat gloves. What? In my country, it's winter. That's a terrible accent. Orion Ben says pre-taped episode are 3 things that happened that Alex feared: Grayson over Solo, Roxanne's choice, and Von Wagner wrestling. I felt the West promo, laughed at Zaya Cruz, and wondered where Kate was for the porn accountant versus Indy promo. Alcohol is ready. Yeah, here we go.
I was looking for my porn accountant glasses, but they're not here tonight, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
I know.
You're the worst porn accountant ever.
I am.
Even bring your glasses.
I need blue light glasses because I'm doing all my number crunching at night because I'm a porn accountant. So.
That's when most porn accountants do their work. It's at night.
Yeah.
They're nocturnal creatures.
It's like, you guys know I'm a West Wing mark.
Yeah.
It's like how they were always writing speeches at 2 a.m. and never from 9 to 5.
Yeah. The Battle to One Jam Beard says Team Kalex is the sweet and sour sauce that we need every week to deal with 2.0.
It's kind of sour tonight, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have a lot of nice to say, but perhaps Linda and Sheila will.
Maybe. The Battle to One Jam Beard says Solo losing to Wallaby Paul Brother does not surprise me with his garbage TV that is now WWE. Yeah.
I mean, if this goes 3, I won't hate it as much, but I hate it right now.
There you go. Hey, so we got do you remember a guy named Jordan Devlin, aka Finn Balor, but in big head mode?
Yes.
Like you take both thumbsticks and you do them in counterclockwise direction for 5 seconds, and all of a sudden Finn Balor's head grows three sizes. That's Jordan Devlin, but now he's not Jordan Devlin anymore because apparently I think that's his real name.
That is his real name.
And if not, it's a name he's used before on the indies, and therefore it's impossible for him to use the name now. So now he's J.D. McDonagh.
Which you know what? It's not a former U-boat captain.
In the grand scheme of things, it's one of the
JD
best
McDonagh.
new names they've given out. J.D. McDonagh, because you've got to say it like McDonagh, because there's the GH. There's a lot of nice roughage in the breathiness of the Irish sound. McDonagh.
The only thing is, it's not very chantable.
J.D. McDonagh.
Yeah, William Regal would have a bug up his butt about that. So
let's go, J.D. Let's go, J.D.
That sounds like you're at Chase University.
Yeah, it does. But anyway, the promo for him is him driving a car.
It is, and it was a lovely car.
It's a lovely car in a convertible, driving a car.
Looks like a Mini Coupe or something.
So, are they just little by little taking people from NXT UK who are okay and send them over here for a bit just to see what's up, and the ones that they don't love get sent back, and then they're eventually just going to close up shop entirely? Is NXT UK going to be like a closed storefront saying we moved across town? Whoops, no, we didn't.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those 60% off things, but they're in the storefront for like a year. It's like closing sale. I feel like Vince McMahon was his name Sid? Who was the evil kid in Toy Story that would take? Yeah. That's Vince McMahon across all of every brand he has right now. Like, just breaking part. Like he took Tyler Breeze and was like, Austin Theory gets these pieces, and that's like the creepy crawly spider with the head on it, and Pretty Deadly gets like the other pieces of Tyler Breeze. That like he was the guy with the demonic toys that he would create. So it's not that Vince takes a shiny new object and plays with it and throws it away again. It's that now he also has to destroy those toys in the process. I think NXT is probably going to be a breeding ground for that. But
a shock with a good shout. JD Mack? No.
JD Mack, I would say.
JD Mack might be good.
JD Mack.
Old McDonagh had a farm. Oh, they're the first time he feuds with a funny baby face, he's gonna sing an Old McDonagh had a farm.
And he's gonna say E-I-E-I-O mother, and then leave.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. So Matthew Plus, seriously, like sends in money for us to read this. Paul Elizabeth, summer solstices must be painful as they mark another year full of regret for raising an abject failure of a daughter.
First of all, that would be my birthday. Second of all, I'm great. Guess who's on this side? Receiving money. Guess who's on that side? Sending money.
Yeah. There you
Let
go.
the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. The Beta to One Jam Beard says Theory got Breeze's phone and Pretty Deadly got his fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's true. Yeah, there you go. So Caden Carter and Katana Chance defeated Valentina Feroz and Ulisa Yelon. And yes, there you go. I won't say too much about this because really
Who could possibly care? What I said about Sikoa having a character and no gimmick, this is the opposite. The two of them are a fun entrance.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. There's not really any storytelling going on. There wasn't really a story to tell here, so I don't go too harsh on that. But like, what do we say? I will say I feel like they're functioning better as a tag team. Like they're doing more in tandem on like tandem offense, but like mostly it's a fun entrance and a bunch of acrobatics, and that's the story of Caden and Katana. I don't know why they didn't put the titles on them.
Well, I know why, because they have plans for that.
They don't need to be a part of that. They're just getting shoehorned in.
So I'm saying that I think I know who's actually going to take those titles.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Bark.
So they did their thing, which is a neck breaker 450 combo, which looks good 12% of the time.
Yeah, it's not great.
Tonight
it
was
looks
not good.
really good when it looks good, and then when it doesn't, it looks really bad. Tonight
it looked really bad. At one of these days, they're going to time it wrong and snap somebody's
and actually
vertebrae.
break someone's neck. Yeah.
Like it's not. If you time it wrong, like wrong, it's really dangerous. So maybe
I think part of it sincerely just feels like the height differential is just like too much. Katana is tiny, man.
Yeah. And Orion Ben did send me a message. Valentina and Ulisa were the two women that Sango was hanging out with last week, and he was like, "I wanted him to be in their corner." Orion
that would be
Ben
so
said.
fun.
And I'd be like, "Yes, that'd be great." Like he just walks out with them, hang out. Like he's not gonna get involved.
No, but he could hang out.
He could hang out, and then he could give them like very wise words of encouragement after their loss, like for a man to get up, he must first be knocked down.
There you go.
Whatever kind of thing.
He's just like a walking, inspirational quote on a tea bag.
There you go. That's right. So now we got this thing, which is Wes Lee came out to give a promo.
Yes.
To address the NXT universe. And honestly, if this wasn't taped, you could have fooled me into thinking they re-signed Nash Carter. Like,
oh, okay. I was gonna say you could have fooled me into thinking that he was going up to the main roster to team with Ricochet.
well, that's what they should be doing.
Right.
But just the way he was, like, they were really, really like talking about the thing that they weren't supposed to talk about.
They were really vaguely talking a lot about the thing they weren't supposed to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to directly reference
my brother and I, we rose to the top, and then we had it stripped out from under us. Our world exploded. And I'm like, listen, Wes, none of this was your fault. And I totally get that. And I understand how that sucks for you. And it wasn't like they did it to like piss you guys off. Like, your tag partner made some serious mistakes.
Yeah.
And regardless of whether or not you in the audience think that they overreacted or whatever.
Right.
Like, there was a reason for it. And it sucks. And it's a weird thing. Like, I think personally, that happened months ago at this point. Let's just move on from it and not bring it up anymore, because it becomes a weird thing. Let's have Wes Lee. That's why I wanted Wes Lee to go to the main roster. On the main roster, nobody knows who Nash Carter is or gives a damn who Nash Carter is. And he goes up and he has a Ricochet. This would have been back when Ricochet was the Intercontinental Champion. Ricochet has an open challenge. And who is it? It's Wes Lee. And they have this amazing sprint for 8 minutes. And Ricochet's really impressed after he beats him, shakes his hand, and then he becomes like Ricochet's young boy, like the guy he's training to come up with him. And when eventually Ricochet loses the Intercontinental Championship to Walter/Gunther, then we get Ricochet and Wes Lee teaming together. It's a really great way to like get him extricated from all of that baggage. And they said, no, what we're going to do with this promo is we're going to weigh you down with that baggage. We're going to make sure we put like cement blocks and like phone books and stuff in all the baggage and make you wear it. And this was, it felt counterproductive to me. Also, I had somebody who sent me something that somebody that they knew was in the audience when they taped it and says, watching it tonight, it was heavily edited. Like, it was way longer. And there was a deafening MSK chant that they edited around because they didn't want that there. But you had him say all this stuff about Nash Carter without saying his name, without saying his old team name. The crowd, of course, is going to respond to it because for them it's live. Maybe they think, hey, here's like Nash Carter's going to show up and they're going to reform or whatever, because to them, maybe that's possible. I mean, it was just a weird deal. Yeah, yeah.
See, I kind of liked, well, there were a couple of things with my parents. None of them have ever showed an interest in anything that has happened on the television screen, least of all my mom. And she asked how real it was. And I was like, it's actually pretty real. I kind of gave her some background information. And she was like, well, is that okay to do? And I explained to her that that in wrestling sometimes, and I told her about CM Punk and Jeff Hardy and how sometimes the most compelling thing you can do in wrestling is leverage a real life situation. I'll say that the timing seems odd, but I do like this as a story from the perspective of, I just wish they had snapped this program together sooner after everything happened, because I like Trick and Carmelo being like,
yes,
like this is the first thing that made sense for Trick to do. Like in the entire time he's been there in NXT, I still think the person he's a mouthpiece for is a better talker than him. But this story, like, actually kind of makes sense. And the tears felt real. And
the tears were absolutely real.
Yeah.
You could tell that this personally really affected Wes Lee. And he's working through some serious shit to get to this point that he's doing, which is great to be able to, like, as they always say in acting class, use it. Whatever you're actually feeling, use it in your performance. And he was, and it was good.
So I at least like, and I completely understand where you're coming from, but I do like that in a world where nothing feels real, and we'll talk about Chase University in a little bit. like it was nice to have something that at least felt authentic.
Yeah.
The MSK chants are a problem. They could edit them out this time, but they need to then leave it at this promo and move on because they'll be back to live. But I liked that he had kind of said it was because it wasn't really about Nash as much as it was about him learning to stand on his own 2 feet and like him saying he had to leave this situation behind and Melo saying like, I don't actually leave my brothers behind. Like I actually really, really liked this segment, but I can completely understand like it's a good 3 months after the fact. Like it might
I thought they dealt with it really well when they had his first little vignette that they filmed on a beach during sunset. Like he talked about it. He talked about how it had affected him. He moved on. Like they did the whole thing with Zion Quinn where Zion Quinn made fun of him about it. He eventually beat Zion Quinn and moved on from it. Now you can move on from it because guess what? Now that you've brought it back up on the taped episode and got a reaction you had to edit out of the broadcast when you broadcast it, now when you do it live, now you got a problem.
Yeah.
Now you got a serious problem because the people who went to the show that was taped, that aired tonight, are going to go to the show next week. It's the same people who show up every week. They're also going to do an MSK chant, and now you got a problem. Now, I will say this. Trick Williams comes out, runs down Wes Lee. Wes Lee talks some smack back, and that's it. No blows, nothing, right? There was no actual – did they fight?
Correct.
I don't remember they fight. They just talked. But here's the deal. Wes Lee's going to beat Trick Williams, and eventually, I don't think by the time we're doing Bash at the Beach, but maybe for the SummerSlam show, we're going to get Wes Lee versus Carmelo Hayes, and that is a match you write home to your mama about. Like that is something I'm really looking forward to. Wes Lee versus Carmelo. Just let them do whatever they are capable of. Give them 14 minutes
alone and get
just
out
let
of the
them
way.
wrestle the best match they possibly can and do not get in the way of great wrestling. I beg of you for one time, do that, please.
Well, they tend to do that on, like, I remember when we did our stand and deliver post show, the end ring was for the most part outstanding, but the booking was so ass backwards that it was frustrating. But like, let the great wrestling be great. You're 100% right. And I will say, whoever seems to, I'm assuming it's HBK, whoever's working with Carmelo, it feels very Shawn Michaels to me. If he's the one actually agenting those matches, they tend to make a lot more sense than a lot of the other people's matches on the roster. So I am hopeful about that. But yeah, that'll be a hell of a match. Like I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah. The batted to one, Jam Beard says, to add to Alex's booking, we could have gotten Ricochet and West versus Imperium. Yeah. Or Ludwig and Gunther versus Ricochet and West, which would be
really fun.
Pretty great.
They might just run that feud in the ground. So
yeah, you never know. And Joey Castro says, every time I hear Alex mention the batted to one Jam Beard, I hear it repeated to the Popeye theme song, which I'm not really familiar. It's been a long time since I watched the Popeye show.
I always think of Bron Breakker because it's an extra consonant.
Yes, but thank you for reviewing such rough shows. Love y'all. Oh, thank you, Joey Cash, though. The batted to one Jam Beard.
Do it for you people.
I believe that is it. Do. That's the Popeye theme. The batted to one Jam Beard. Dude. There you go. And Jesse Ozog, who I learned last night during the Raw review, taught Shakespeare for 16 years.
No way. And you watch this?
He says NXT is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury signifying nothing, which of course is from Act 5 of Macbeth. Love that.
Buddy, you're gonna be popping Alex with a lot of those references.
Love that speech. That is my crowning achievement as an actor, was playing Macbeth. That was the best.
Oh.
Yeah. I love that one. So we got a whole thing here about.
Thank you. We appreciate those.
We got a whole thing here about. Well, hold on. Let me finish this up. Talking about Wes Lee, because we got here Riot DR says, now that you've said it, I think we need the main roster to have NXT Young Boys. I mean, Sheamus already has a butched up Pete Dunne. Just keep it going. Like, if they get called up, like, pair them with somebody who mentors them. Like, right there, it's a tag team. And eventually they're going to feud. Like, it's a really easy thing to do. And I mean, like, if that was a stated thing that they were doing, I wouldn't even mind the repetitive nature of it, because it's a thing that you do. It's a really great way to bring them up, show them how what the ropes are, give them somebody who's actually teaching them what to do. Also, probably because it's WWE, hazing them to no end, carry my bags, rookie, and all that kind of crap. Go out and get us donuts. But yeah, hopefully it's not mean-spirited hazing.
If anybody in the chat is unfamiliar with what Young Boys are, it's basically like an apprenticeship thing. And in New Japan, they have Young Boys and Young Lions. There's basically like an escalation to how that works. So they kind of tried that with The Miz and Alex Riley. Like, we've seen iterations of that before. The thing is, I feel like that should happen more on NXT than the main roster a little bit. And I don't trust them to tell one story repetitively in an interesting way.
Right.
Like, if you're going to have one young boy, you should kind of have multiple young boys. And I just think that they're not capable of telling more than one story across this company. Every babyface has to lose a bunch. Every heel has to win in the same way by cheating. So, but I do, that's one of my favorite things about New Japan, is everything feels tangible like that. I would love to see more things like that.
As Orion says, Miz got young boy Ciampa already, because Ciampa's just doing Miz's dirty work for him, even though Miz says he's never spoken 2 words to Ciampa, so that's fun.
Ciampa is like so the opposite of a young boy in literally every way.
He is an old man.
He's an old man.
He's an old man.
Grizzled.
Yeah.
He's smart. He doesn't take shit from anybody. Like, he's no.
Yeah. The Battle to One Jambeard says, the Battle to One Jambeard says, does that mean that Ciampa is going to end up being Mrs. Youngboy? I think I just threw up a little from that thought. We all did. We all threw up. All of us. All of us just a little bit.
Puke emoji.
Roderick Strong and Damon Kemp faced Legado del Phantasma. This was the Creeds didn't appear on the show tonight. This was set up last week. Damon Kemp got slapped in the face by Roderick Strong and started throwing around Cruz del Toro. And maybe Troy Donovan got fired by Tony D'Angelo for screwing up this thing.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to like, hey, whoops, I wasn't even looking, and I put this crowbar inside the ring, and I was gonna hook the ankle of Roderick Strong, but then the Irish whip got reversed. See, if it had been an Italian whip, nothing would have gone wrong. But those Irish, you can't trust them. So then the Irish whip got reversed, and I hooked the leg of Roddy Strong of whatever Legado guy was in there at the time. And because I wasn't looking, it cost them the match. I'm really sorry, boss. Please don't fire me or send me to sleep with the fishes. Maybe that's it.
You know, Alex.
Yeah.
Some people have a little trouble with their crowbar. Some people's crowbars malfunction from time to time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you need a little help when your crowbar isn't working the way it's supposed to. You know what? And I think Sean Ross Sapp is here to tell us all about how you could get some help for your broken crowbar.
Is your penis soft? Is it difficult to get hard? Do you have issues with sexual performance? Do you have issues with sexual confidence? BlueChew.com, code FIGHTFUL, gives you your first shipment of Blue Chew for free. It will help you get a harder, stronger erection. It will make you more confident in your sexual performance. You take an online questionnaire. You work with an online physician. You don't wait in line at the pharmacy. You don't wait in line at the doctor's office. It's prepared and shipped direct in a discreet package. That way, nobody knows that you are getting Blue Chew in order to make your penis erect. Blue Chew and the code Fightful gets you your first shipment free if you want an erect penis. I'm going to end the ad now.
Sometimes I just want to get in a staring contest with Sean.
Sometimes. Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't blink in the beginning of that ad like a creep. It's that he doesn't blink for so long.
Mm-hmm.
For so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's real creepy.
Yeah. JW Pringle says the term young boy being said over and over again keeps making me giggle. What my brain is 12 years old. It's true.
Yes, boys, young boys. Dalton Castle's boys.
JW Pringle says Mighty Minus was the kid that reminded the teacher to assign homework on Friday afternoon, you damn scutch. And then JW Pringle says that should read Scutch because he wrote Scotch. That should read Scutch, damn auto Corvette. I hate the auto Corvette. It's the worst.
I prefer to drive manual as well.
Yeah. And then Paul Elizabeth Minus sends in something saying, Kate, where's the aloe vera? I got so burned. Wink emoji.
Matthew Plus. If you're gonna choose a week to kayfabe as my dad, you should probably pick a week when he's not home, because he's an easily verifiable source. And if you think that you're here to come in and burn me, just remember who's hosting the show and who's super chatting. All right, pal? Because you're the one sending us money at the end of the day. And you can try and hit us with your little jabs and your insults, but all that does is give me a pay bump and more power here at Fightful. So just consider your actions, pal.
I think that was actually your dad referring to the fact.
Oh, was it?
Yes, referring to the fact that.
Why did he say minus?
Because I don't know. He doesn't. I don't think he fully gets the gag. But
he gets the gag.
But as Matthew Minus says, how does it feel to have raised a failure of a daughter?
Yeah, but I already addressed that.
I know.
To have a sick burn over someone, that person has to give you some sort of credit or sign some sort of weight to your bullshit insults. And I don't do that with Matthew Plus.
Luis is confirming it was actually your father who sent.
Oh, well, it was the name change that threw me off. I didn't think my dad was going to give in to the gimmick.
That's what he wrote.
Well, you said he doesn't get the gimmick, and here he is fully committed. What is?
We are falling apart here. We are crashing it. Bert.
The show was in flames before it started. Did you guys watch NXT? No.
Hey, Kate. So
clown.
Let's
clown.
Yeah. So let's do this, Kate. Let's spend several weeks doing full on we rented a helicopter to fly over Fabian Eichner driving a German car and through the streets of Orlando, because those were some high ass shots of him. That was him doing it. We spent a lot of money on these vignettes to repackage Fabian Eichner as Giovanni Vinci. We hired this woman to do voiceover work, all this shit. We did all this stuff. We had him come out. He won his first match handily. He looks great. He's got, again, riding a wave of monster momentum. How do we capitalize on that, Kate? We feud him with the clown who wears a blazer festooned with his stupid face. I think Ike Manjiro has a place in NXT and in all of wrestling. I don't think his place is having a match with Giovanni Vinci when Giovanni Vinci just showed up. It doesn't make sense to me. This guy got over. as this new character, whatever the hell it was. Looked great. He's always been an amazing wrestler. Can we do something with him? Why is everything a placeholder? Why is everything a damn placeholder for you people? Like, let's make something important happen for people that we think are good.
I don't mind it because they're both very fashionable, right? That's the whole thing here. And if they let it be awesome, it'll be an awesome match. And if it's a squash, it doesn't really hurt anybody.
Well, yes, if it is a squash, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. This guy totally got me. By the way, if anyone knows stupid faces, it's me. It is true. It is true. I do know a lot of stupid faces. Yeah. Meanwhile, in Japan, Kushida is facing Ishimori. He got out such a good time.
God bless him.
Just God bless Kushida, living his best life back home, doing awesome stuff.
Lord.
Okay. So Apollo Crews last year was Waffle House Vigilante. And I thought that was
last week, gimmick. Not last year.
Last week.
Last year he was a Nigerian accented.
Yes, he was. He was writing in his little notebook at the Waffle House and beat some guy who was given a waitress. He's giving a waitress a hard time, and now he's walking down the street at night and comes across some dude who's just sitting there scrolling on his phone. And this dude talks to Apollo, who's walking while writing in his journal, which is a weird thing to do, I think. And then he stops him and says, hey, you don't want to go down there. It's bad time. Just bad news down there. Please, I don't want to do that. What are you doing, sir? Like, you're just hanging out at the end of this alleyway, leaning up against the wall of this building, scrolling on your phone. Call the police. Like, actively, there's an assault happening behind you. 3 guys are beating the hell out of this dude. And you're like, hey, man, don't go down that way. Do what I'm doing. Absolutely friggin' nothing. Standing here. I'm not leaving the area. I'm also not helping, and I'm not calling for anybody else to help. Real good Samaritan, this dude. But then Apollo Crews does the thing where he visualizes beating up these bullies in the back alley. He's a back alley bully beater. And then he goes and does it afterwards. And Riot DR says, hey, yo, the Apollo segments are similar to the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes trope. The one where he plans his entire attack and then it works perfectly. Someone back there really likes vigilante justice. Oh, well, love you guys. Too sweet, too sour.
I think about it like that. That's actually kind of cool. This felt like Apollo Crews was like, he wasn't too fast, too furious. He was like pretty quick and kind of angry, like moderately fast, like the car and his outfit and his attitude. But it does seem like at least a little bit. This is closer to him being like a human being. Like, he at least feels like cool in this and has charisma and can pull it off. But
he's the protector, like Xia Li on the main roster in those vignettes, but not
we all know how well that went.
Mm-hmm. At some point, he's going to cut a promo vaguely backstage saying, the only one I protect now is myself. And then he's going to be off TV for 6 weeks, and then he'll show up and lose to Lacey Evans. I mean, it's bad.
He's going to lose to Lacey Evans.
That's what happened.
He's going to tag with Aaliyah.
That's what happened to that. So I really am happy that Apollo Crews is back. I would say if I don't think we need this for him, like, not yet. Like, you just brought him back. you had him have that tag match with Solo Sikoa. He picked up the victory, and 2 weeks of him just doing vignettes. Like, I'd rather see Apollo Crews wrestle or have somebody for him to wrestle. I think the point is going to be Apollo Crews versus Bron Breakker at whatever the hell the SummerSlam
Bash at the Summer.
Yeah, Bash at the Summer
Beach
Bash
at the Slam. Beach at the Slam.
Beach at the Slam. Slam in the beach. Beach Slam.
Beach in the summertime. Bash Slam.
There you go. That's good. That's very, very good. I don't know. Jim Pringle says, portraying a human being is in the tops of NXT.
It is.
It really is.
It
really
is.
That's
why Solo Sikoa got over. He's just a person.
I also just love the implication.
I don't know any of Solo Sikoa's hobbies. Do you know how refreshing that is?
That is great. But Apollo Crews just walking down the street, stops. Hey, you don't want to go down there. Believe me. And says, thanks for the heads up. And he stares and watches 3 men beating a man to death. And he waits as he visualizes what he's going to do next. Time is of the essence, Apollo. Like, any one of them could have pulled a knife at any time and murdered that man, and you had to sit and wait to figure out how you were going to do it. Oh, man. It is funny.
Does he stop time with his mind?
Yeah.
I have questions. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Thank you, James Block. Other stuff. We appreciate that.
Thank you. That's really great. Appreciate you being a part of this thing. Nerd Guru says, might as well have Apollo say, I'm the wrestler NXT needs, but not the one it deserves. He's Batman.
At least say it.
Thing. Yeah.
Like, at least you could acknowledge it.
Gotta say it. Actually, what you need, isn't Commissioner Gordon the one who actually says it in The Dark Knight or something like that? This is where we need William Regal. To be the guy who's like, he's the hero. He's the hero Gotham needs right now.
Be still my heart.
But anyway. Oh yes. So we get Tom LaValle says Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly at Forbidden Door 2. Manifest it. Well, let's manifest all of that. Let's do that.
I'll say this. I'm glad our precious, very cool Kyle he's been in AEW for a few months, and I feel like in the past probably 6 weeks he's really started to show like, hey, just a reminder, this is who I am. So definitely don't hijack the chat with your thoughts about Forbidden Door. That would be terrible if we were just talking about Forbidden Door instead of the show we saw tonight.
Yeah,
that'd be terrible if you guys sent in super chats about that instead and we talked about that.
How could we do that? That'd be terrible.
That'd be awful. Hey, reminder, actually, while we're talking about Forbidden Door. After Forbidden Door, Team Kalex, me and the feller next to me, will be doing the Paywall pay-per-view post-show where you can join us. And we'll be talking all things Forbidden Door, which is presumably something we're going to like. And so it'll have a very different feel than this. And that is this Sunday.
Riot DR says Giovanni is too sexy for this feud.
He's too sexy for this feud.
Too sexy for this feud.
He could be in Max Dupree's stable.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't threaten me with a good time. Timothy Stratton cut a promo.
She did.
About how much she hates Wendy Chu. It's not a really well written promo, but she's doing a lot better with this character. The thing I did love about it is that, as I honestly think there should be a thing that she does now, because everything has everybody's got to have a thing that they say, like a thing they always do, catchphrase, or whatever it is.
Because I'm the Miz and I'm awesome. Right, yeah, one of those.
Mela is money, whatever it is. I'm the EST of WWE, all that kind of crap. I love her walking out of frame, and as she's gone, saying, Toodles. I think that very funny. Let's do that.
It's because it's naturally a dumb thing somebody like her would say on her way out, rather than like and here's my catchphrase. Like that's a way that people say goodbye to people when they're that way.
The bedded one jam beard dude has an idea for what they'll call the summer thing. NXT Summer Slamboree Sleepover.
Ooh. In your home on your patio during the summer drinking sweet tea. Slam.
Luis very helpfully says, "Get ready for Toodles merch."
Toodles, see, like,
and the Toodles will be written on the back. So, like, as you're walking away, you can just point to your back. Toodles. So, Toxic Attraction comes out and cuts a promo about how they think that Roxy sucks, and how Cora Jade also sucks, and how Roxanne Perez, you don't want to challenge me because I'm hot, and therefore I'm not going to be booked to lose the title for a long time because the people who are in charge like looking at me.
It's worse than that. Do you know what she actually said?
What'd she say?
A couple of wins won't get you a title shot against me. Mm-hmm. Which is a really dumb thing to say when one of those wins was for a title shot against her, Alex.
That's true.
Real dumb. Really
yeah.
Shattering the stereotypes of hot people being dumb. Really doing that.
So then Roxy and Cora Jade come out, and then Mandy repeats the fact that you don't want to challenge me because you'll lose or whatever, and then Kate, this is the one I thought was going to anger you the most of the entire night when I read the spoilers.
I was going to throw my phone out the window
because Roxy says, actually, I've been talking with Cora, and as much as I'd love to be the next women's champion of NXT, it would mean so much more to become tag champs with my best friend. And they didn't come out and say, I am cashing in my contract thing to face the two of you, Toxic Attraction, for the titles. They stopped short of that, so they can reverse course on this. Like Nerdguru says, I can't believe they actually did the breakout tournament in reverse again. How the fuck does that happen? So here we go. They had the Dusty Classic, and Kaylee Ray, who's now Alba Fire, and Io Shirai won that, and they cashed in their shot at the tag titles for each of them being in a singles for the singles title, and they just did the other thing with the breakout tournament. You can choose any title, but why wouldn't you choose the title? Why wouldn't you choose that? Doesn't make any friggin' sense. But
it's so much worse than that, Alex. It's so much worse than that, because she came in here and talked about how this is just like Cody coming in and being like, I'm going to go get the title my dad never won. And I'm going to do that by being in a drawn-out 4-match feud with Seth Rollins, who is not even on the same program as the champion, never mind nowhere near the championship. It has always been my dream to be here, and I'm going to become women's champion. Winning a shot to do exactly that and then just not is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. It's even more dumb to do it when there's no tag titles on the main roster right now. What the hell does being a good, successful tag team in NXT get you? Nothing. It gets you nothing. You can't get called up to the main roster as a tag team because there's not fucking division right now. Makes absolutely no sense at all. At all. Not to mention, you had a whole tournament, just like you said, about getting a tag team shot. And what did they do? They made it a singles thing. And then when you win as one person, you win a breakout tournament. And now you're choosing because you're friends with someone to go after the tag titles that don't fucking mean anything makes no sense. They've been defended like twice in the entire time that Toxic Attraction has had them. This reign has not served anybody by Toxic Attraction on any real level. The only thing it's done is had people like Dakota Kai make Mandy look good, but she's supposed to be the one coming down from the main roster to make other people look good.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense here.
Nothing makes sense. Anyway, we don't actually get them saying, and so I'm cashing in my contract to face you for the titles, because Caden and Katana come out and say, hold on, we're not done yet. Well, why aren't you done, though? Because you lost your tag title match.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know why you keep doing that. Only in WWE is there even a possibility that after the challengers lose a title match, they're going to have another one. That's dumb. But like Cora being like, yeah, I saw in your house, you looked done to me. I don't know why. Maybe they don't actually all sound like that, but they're all written that way.
Yeah.
All of the women are written the
It's
same
because
way.
old white men are writing for women, and they're the exact same white men who are involved in the scandal that's ruling the company, and they're so tone deaf that the guy at the head of that scandal who runs the company is coming out on back-to-back shows Friday and Monday to say, howdy hi, it's the same idiots writing this shit. And if there's a reason it feels like old white guys are telling Mandy to go get tanned with a Playboy stencil when she's already tanned but wants to get a base that she already has for going to the fucking beach, it's because senile white old dudes are writing for young women's bodies, not for who they are, for their fucking bodies. It's disgusting. A lot of people owe Ember Moon an apology. I think I did. Thank you. Thanks, Louise. Louise rules.
So then they decide
a reminder, just absolutely do not send in super chats about Forbidden Door. Just don't. I'd be so sad if you did.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
So we now we're getting next week Caden and Katana versus Cora and Roxanne, and the winner of that match gets Toxic Attraction at Bash at the Beach or wherever the fuck Great American Bash, whatever the fuck it is. So we also got later in the show, we got Indy Hartwell being interrupted by Kiana James by AKA Porn Accountant. Horse Girl was not on the show tonight, but Porn Accountant was. And
She's
Indy
probably off showing her horse her contract.
Yes. Mark Wilson, this is why you freaking rule,
Thank
Kate.
you.
The Indy Hartwell's being interrupted by Kia's like, you're terrible because you're too emotional. I've run the numbers and blah, blah, blah. She takes her glasses off way too early in the scene. It's not believable. But then Indy's like, hey, Kiana, is it? You're new here? Well, you know, nobody cares about your opinions. Also, by the way, this is NXT 2.0 and nobody likes the bitch. And I'm just like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing?
First of all, like, everybody likes a bitch. Like, that's what the whole women's division is people calling each other bitches. Like, that's the whole division. And second of all, who the hell is this girl to come in? She's wrestled like a match, I think, on the main roster. They didn't even do anything about her like crunching the data or the numbers.
Yeah.
Like, use that with Indy Hartwell instead of being like, you're a loser and I don't like you. Being like, look, you have X, Y, and Z lost it. Like, use data to support it. Porn accountant.
Yeah.
I'm not even a good porn accountant, and I know that.
Yeah. 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 So that's what Indy Hartwell is doing. She's just hanging out, gonna beat up Kiana James next week. Nerd Guru says, I have no idea who beats Mandy. Indy, maybe? No. JW Pringle says, Mandy stole Nikita's outfit, put some clothes on.
I mean, Mandy's never really had clothes.
No, but there were big holes in her jumpsuit.
There were.
So there you go. Nikita Lyons is returning next week. She's
what happened to like Saray?
I don't know.
Sorry, my head is still just stuck back in women's division land.
I think she might be shoot injured. Because they keep putting her with women who don't know what the hell they're doing, and she's smaller than they are, and they keep hurting her because she's a consummate freaking professional at 25 years old, because she's been doing this for years and years and years and is really, really good at it. But it doesn't matter if you put her in a ring with somebody who's been doing it for 6 weeks. I think that is what happened. So I always said months ago, before we knew of Nikita Lyons' own personal proclivities, that they were always planning on having Nikita Lyons have a feud with Mandy Rose. It's like, you say you're the hottest and that's why you're the champion, but I'm just as hot, if not hotter than you, and I can fight. And that's what they're going to do. Like, it's to me, like, who's, like, they, like, Kate, just with the way they do everything, we're so close to being at the point where I'm like, are they going to do like a Bron panties match? Are they going to do like a wardrobe malfunction match where whoever wins has to pull the top off the one who loses? Like, what are we doing with this? But I don't know. Nikita Lyons is absolutely the one who's, I think they're having Roxanne trade in her contract so that she and Cora can become tag champs, because they're planning on having Nikita beat Mandy Rose.
There's so much that I don't understand. Why did you rebrand Alba Fire to have her fight jobbers when she was just in a title picture? That just makes no sense. And the other thing is, and I like Nikita in the ring. I think she's really good, but a walking thirst trap with nunchucks doesn't work as a champion. Sorry. It doesn't.
Saray is apparently in NXT UK. Like she's doing NXT UK right now.
I don't
know.
It just doesn't make sense. And I'm also just going to shut down. There's a really pointless conversation happening in the chat about controversy creating cash and numbers and whatever. Using a Sexton financial scandal as a ratings pop is bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's that. We're not talking about it anymore. It's done. But that doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
Like, and if you want to compare WWE ratings to AEW, compare them against themselves, because they're at an all-time low.
Right.
So just please leave that alone.
Riot DR says, wins don't matter, losses matter. Everything about the women's division baffles me. Why don't TikTok tag team an official Nate yet? Well, they're Caden and Katana. They're the KKs. Don't make them a trios, because that'd be bad. Zachary says, if Mandy loses, it should go to the main roster. Yes. How about what happened to Toxic Attraction? Well, they also lose the tag titles, and they go with Mandy Rose. And the three of them together pose, in the mind of the people running the main roster, the three of them pose a major threat to Ronda Rousey on SmackDown. Like, I think that's exactly how they would book stuff.
But there's no tag team division.
It doesn't matter. They're just going to be up there, because the three of them, what the other Gigi or JJ can get their ass beat by Ronda Rousey, while Mandy avoids it. But then the three of them together will all beat down Ronda. Like, that's my hope. My hope is that's what they do. The worst case scenario is that Lacey Evans wins the Money in the Bank contract and immediately cashes in and becomes champion. That's the worst possible thing.
It needs to end with Bayley winning the title.
Yeah, it would be nice, but that's not going to happen.
That's it.
Yeah. Jake Neil says, Kate, how dare you say that Steve Blackman is nothing but a thirst trap with nunchucks?
Look, I love him.
Steve Blackman was sexy. Man.
Yeah.
That's strong silent type. I don't think I ever heard him cut a promo. Man, that beard. Amazing.
He was more than a thirst trap.
The battered one jam beard says, but Kate, you and Alex are the ones who break that stereotype of hot people being dumb. It's true.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
gorgeous
really pretty.
Yes.
And we're funny and smart.
But here's the thing. Yeah. You are pretty and smart, and I am ugly and dumb. It's very easy. Okay.
Don't you dare talk about my co-host like that. I'll throw hands.
It was an easy joke. I had to do it. Matthew Plus, by the way, requested Linda and Sheila singing "The Patriot" by Topher. If you know, you know, and the answer is no.
No.
So thank you.
The amount
for your
no.
money.
Look at the chat. Stop
Thank
it,
you for
Alex.
money.
Alex, you are gorgeous. Linda, you are very beautiful and smart and wise. Alex is Alex is a smart himbo.
Listen, I know I know I'm gorgeous, and I know I've got it going on upstairs still, even at my age. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about whatever the hell that is that also sits here. So I'm just saying.
You are the thirst trap.
Okay. So here we go. Some chats about Forbidden Door.
Guys, I specifically said not to send in super chats or humper chats at Forbidden Door, which you could send at humperchats.com, where Fightful gets to keep a little bit more money. Guys, we simply can't have that.
Yeah.
But since you paid, I guess we gotta read them.
Yeah. Jake now says, okay, I'm turning this off. Who is your most anticipated match for Forbidden Door? And are there any surprise matches you think will happen? I think we'll get something added on Wednesday that we had no idea prior was even a possibility. I don't know what it will be, but I'm looking forward to it. I confess to not knowing a lot about the New Japan talent. So my most anticipated match has a Japanese talent that I am familiar with, and 3 AEW talents that I love. That All-Atlantic Championship match with Miro, Pac, probably Malachi Black, and Ishii. Like, I'm trembling with anticipation. Like, I just can't wait for that match. It's going to hump so hard. Oh, it's going to break a pelvis. That's how hard it's going to hump. It's going to break a pelvis.
And if you want to break a pelvis, go to blueshoe.com and use the code Fightful. I agree with you. I think that match is going to be unbelievable. I think we have Jake Salazar chiming in basically about the same thing, which is I think Cassidy and Ospreay is going to be super surprising to a lot of people. I think with comedy characters and gimmicks, people tend to think that the in-ring is also a joke, and Orange Cassidy's in-ring is not a joke, you guys. He's real good.
He's really,
and I
really
think
good.
that match is going to be really fun.
He deliberately switches it on and off.
Yes.
And sometimes I wish he had it switched on more than he has it switched off, if that makes sense.
Interesting, yes.
I get it. I know what your character is. You don't have to spend the first 7 to 10 minutes of the match just being that character. You can switch that character off and just be a great wrestler 2 minutes into the match. I promise I'll be fine with it. Like, I feel like a lot of his matches are really long because we got to do through the whole Orange Cassidy is Orange Cassidy for a long time. Some of the things work really, really well. Sometimes for me, it's a bit of a slog to get to the really, really good part where he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm one of the best workers in the world." You can just start there. Yeah,
I think a lot of his stories. I think the matches go that way sometimes because I feel like all of those shenanigans are supposed to be to get under the skin of the competitor, right? So I feel like that's why they get front loaded that way, but I completely get what you're saying.
JW Ringo says, "What is this Forbidden Door? Explain in detail." Forbidden means you're not supposed to go near it. And as Hangman Page explained, on being the elite. A door is a door, and a window is a window, and you're supposed to walk through a door, but you're not supposed to leave through a window. So that's like you can, but it's not wise.
Not encouraged.
Not encouraged.
I had to break into my own house yesterday. I had to go through a window.
Was it forbidden?
Kind of, but it was like my only option, so it wasn't like that forbidden.
Right.
But the lock on the side door of my house got jammed, and I had to break the screen and go through the window.
Yeah. Ricardo the Mark says Big Willie O versus Orange Cassidy gonna slap.
Yeah. I'm glad people are catching on to how good that match will probably be.
Jake Salazar says, never forget OC beat the hell out of Adam Cole. I won't ever forget because I still think it was a bad idea. Nick Campbell says, does Wednesday seem better because Tuesday is so bad? I think Wednesdays would feel great no matter how bad Tuesdays were.
The gap helps, but I don't think it's the only reason Wednesdays are awesome.
Tom LaValle says, tired of this booking by grandpas. Feels like we need a murder grandpa to have an over-delivering match on Sunday.
Understood the assignment.
Yeah.
It is interesting how much... I mean, it's insane that Suzuki is the age he is, putting on the matches he is. And I don't mean high-quality matches. I mean that level of violence at the age he's at. But there was a question about, like, what wrestlers kind of came into their prime in their 40s and 50s. And I don't know if he falls in that category, but he would be a contender because I think his prime has just been 35 years long or something. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. We already talked about this thing. Like this is Minoru. That's how long he's been doing things.
What a hunk.
That's a thirst trap right there. Yeah, that was I mean, if you don't remember, it is canon. We had a dalliance years and years ago when he was just a young boy and I was still also an old lady. But it was a wonderful time. I showed him the ropes. He liked it rough. Who knew? But
you did. You showed him the ropes. He was running the ropes. If you know what I mean.
So Sky Singe says dancing is forbidden. Aqua Teen Sour Force for life. And Jake Salazar. So FTR about to be belt collectors. Let's hope.
Wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah. Them just all of them. Impact. All of them. Take all the titles from everybody. They're the best. The Battle to One Jam Beard says, I have a prediction about Forbidden Door that would make Alex sad and mad. Well, I don't know what it is, but
you have to tell us.
I guess you have to tell me.
Hey, you know what I would like to tell you about? A protein pack cereal named Magic Spoon. But I didn't even wait for a clever segue because we have a humper chat from Ed Uribe saying that he got his Magic Spoon package and it arrived today. And it's all thanks to Fightful and the promo code Fightful. That he ate a bowl of delicious honey graham and oatmeal cookie while playing TMNT Shredder's Revenge, you and Sean both, buddy, instead of watching, and I'm not going to say the bad word, but NXT, basically. Oh my God, the horror. So because we had that ringing endorsement,
yes,
I'm going to play. I mean, for me to give up a segue, because that's my favorite thing in the whole wide world, like, is big, but I just thought it was so cool that we had like a little bit of a testimonial.
Yeah.
But we're gonna roll the ad now.
Okay.
Do you like cereal but hate all the junk that's associated with it? Well, magicspoon.com/Fightful has you covered. Save $5 off your order when you get a custom bundle, custom box right now. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs per serving. Only 140 calories per serving. Keto-friendly, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and gluten-free. And right now you can build your own box. Not just right now, anytime. blueberry, cinnamon, honey nut, maple waffle, cookies and cream, cocoa fruity frosted peanut butter, all the flavors you loved growing up. And how about this? A money-back guarantee. If for some reason you don't like it or you just want your money back, MagicSpoon.com/Fightful does that. Not only is it great in the mornings, it's great for a snack throughout the day, a midnight snack as well, without having all those carbs and unhealthy parts of cereal. MagicSpoon.com/Fightful.
So there you go.
There you go, everybody.
Wait, where'd our cute little frame go?
So we
Where's
got
our cute frame?
I don't. Well, you. I don't know.
I didn't take it away.
It's gone. There it is.
Thank you. I need people
it's
to
because
know
I
who
switched.
I am.
It's because I switched the background when the foreground when I did Minoru and.
Oh, that makes sense.
Helpfully, Jimmy Pringle says, "I'm a cis white male and hubba hubba." He's yeah.
Moving in on Linda's van. Did you take the overlay down while I was smooching
yes,
him?
I did.
How dare you?
I did. So
I don't want people thinking I'm just some generic wrestling writer, okay? I want them to know my name.
the Battle of One Jam Beard says the prediction is that Jericho pins Eddie in the 6-man and goes into a title feud with Mox because he'll claim he deserves it since he missed the Battle Royal. Plus 2 of Mox's proteges are in the 6-man. Well, they're going to do Blood and Guts. So we'll figure out how that's all going to come about. I love the idea of the AEW champion being in Blood and Guts and just
so cool.
He's
the guy for that too.
He's definitely the guy for that. Nurguru says it's not Forbidden Door related, but he says AEW related chat. Based on Lax Priest's really no number, I wouldn't have suggested that Tony put Marina Shafir on the show based on last time as well. I get it's the angle, but do Tony Storm versus literally anyone else. There are plenty of women. I disagree. I love Marina Shafir. I understand that not everybody loves her, but I love that she is.
I think in like 8 months she's going to be one of my favorite wrestlers.
Right.
But there's still some major
greenery. Yeah, sure.
And for the love of God, change her theme. No. Yeah, I know you like it.
It's fine. I don't hate it. I will say she and Nyla teaming on Dark Elevation or whatever the hell it was dark. They are great together. They're great.
I need to go back and watch that because I quite like Max the Impaler, and that I guess this past Dark was like an episode of Rampage, basically. Like Ethan Page had an outstanding match. So I need to go back and watch that.
Cameron Grimes defeated Idris Enofe, in parentheses, with Malik Blade. With Malik Blade is the most kind thing I can say about him. Like, this poor guy he's not ready for prime time, not ready for the limelight.
No, nobody in a sweater vest is.
He's just not. Like, they're not doing him any favors by packaging him that way, especially opposite a dude who is carved out of granite by the gods on Olympus themselves. Edison Ofe is he is hewn from the earth. Like, that's amazing what he looks like. Also, he's super athletic. I think he's very charismatic. I think he's a guy who's going to be they would have to really, really, really screw him up.
Don't say that because creative will be like, I see your challenge.
I know. They would have to really, really, really screw him up for him to not be a top guy in their company in 5 years. Like, he's just he's look at him. Look at him. Look what he can do. Like, he's at least like has a personality, which is a lot of people don't have. His tag partner being one of those people that don't have personalities. So him having the singles match where he showed out against Cameron Grimes, like daring Cameron Grimes to kick him in the chest a bunch of times. Like, he's really, really good. He lost to Cameron Grimes because he should, because Cameron Grimes is higher on the card than he is, and Cameron Grimes has a title match coming up in 2 weeks. Cameron Grimes needs to beat Edison Ofe, but they had a really good moment afterwards with the hug and the handshake. I'm a big fan of Edison Ofei. I think that they're really he's really good.
I will let this person decide if they want to break their anonymity with the story that I'm quickly going to tell. But I got a message from someone who's consistently in this chat, and they can say it's them if they want to. I'll keep kayfabe. But they thought that when we were talking, because they don't watch the show that much, they thought that when we were talking about Idris and Ofei, that they were the tag team, that it was Idris and Ofei. So that's how memorable Malik Blade has been in our conversations and on this show.
Oh no.
But Idris is great. Tons of charisma. Really like someone that I think is developing for sure. Like I feel like he's somebody that we've seen make a lot of really great strides. But yeah, Malik and him not working. I get that they're trying to do this odd couple thing. I think the last person that could pull off a sweater vest as well was probably Carlton from Fresh Prince, and it needs to go. So
Malik Blade looks like he's auditioning for the Mean Street Posse. It's not working out for him. It's just not.
Oh no.
But it was a really good match and really showed me that Edison Ofei is the guy who's going to be a single star. Like he's really, really, really good.
He's really good. It took a minute for it to get going for me. I didn't love the kick me in the chest spot as much as you did. It's completely.
I'm a sucker for that crap. I don't know why.
I am when it's Eddie Kingston and John.
But only when it's Eddie Kingston.
Literally, I'm like, no, you shouldn't do that. But when Eddie Kingston's like, chop me more, I'm like. Yeah, it's completely just like a double standard on who I feel should be able to 100%. Do that. I understand how ridiculous and hypocritical that is.
Yeah.
But somewhere like middle end, it really got going for me, and it also paid off how dramatic Cameron Grimes was last week. So I appreciate that at least.
Yeah.
But Allie coughed up to it. Okay, it was Allie Cease who was like, I thought it was Idris and Ofei. They're great tag team. That one guy is a great tag team.
So then backstage, Bron Breakker, his only appearance on the show tonight, walks up to Cameron Grimes in the locker room and says, "Hey, that was a great match. That's the Cameron Grimes I want to face at Great American Bash or whatever the hell." And says, "No, you don't. Because if you face this Cameron Grimes, you're going to lose that title." And that's all I need. That's good. These are two great. You don't need to turn Cameron Grimes heel. Let's just have a great match. It's going to be a great match. Bron Breakker is going to win. He'll move on. Wonderful. Like that's all we need. If you want to use that to turn Cameron Grimes heel afterwards out of frustration, or within the match, Cameron Grimes starts wrestling more heel because he can't get it done without cutting corners, fine. But you don't have to turn him heel to have the match. I'm very glad. That's good. By the way,
layers are okay, like much to their dismay.
Yes. Yes. Luis says that Idris reminds him of Elix Skipper and pre-ROH Christopher Daniels.
Ooh, okay.
Early TNA. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So a couple of the worst things on the show. Just come out and say it out loud. GYV are the druids. Like your whole weird, like I'm giving you clues. Like I know you wanted you have tasted gold in the past, but it was fleeting. And when you taste gold under my tutelage, it will be so much more delicious. And you had grown frustrated and you wanted to return home, but you accepted my guidance and blah, 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 blah. It's UIV. Stop with all these little weird little breadcrumbs. Come on.
I want them to not give us breadcrumbs, but give us so much bread. Like I want Joe Gacy to be speaking in his like weird rhetoric, but be like, I know you've been the grizzly bears, of this brand, and
yes,
that you are seasoned like a widely veteran. Like I want him to just telegraph it with the most disgusting, obvious, like overture.
Yeah, the only thing missing was Gacy yelling, "Seen to be recognized as the dyad." Here's the thing: Zach Gibson is a great promo. High energy, has some really great turns of phrases.
High
and
energy.
What is he now?
He's Owen and
yes.
Who else was in high energy? Frankie the Macaw, obviously.
Coco Beware.
Coco, duh. Coco
but
and his bird.
He has a very highly energetic personality about him when he's on the mic.
You can't say high energy.
I can't because then you're gonna turn it around on me. I am. And what is he now? He's a faceless stooge for Diet Wyatt. That's sad. That's sad.
Come on, feel. I'll always do that. I'll always do that in my brain. I will say this.
Diet Wyatt.
Girls, rock your boys.
Welcome,
Wyatt. I'm trying to be respectful of the fact that I'm at my parents' house. These gimmicks in general aren't for me, so I'm not like the best person to ask where this gauges. Like to me, if this is Diet Wyatt, like I didn't love a lot of what Bray Wyatt did. While understanding that he was very good at what he did, there was a point where every promo starts to sound the same for me with stuff like this, and that's not Gacy's fault. But it just when you go in this kind of like otherworldly direction, and I guess he's not supposed to have like superpowers, but like when you speak this way, everything kind of starts to sound pretty blanketed, and then on top of that, what they're giving him to say is probably repetitive anyway, just because it's NXT. So, I feel bad because it wasn't working, and then it was working, and then they got rid of Harland, and now they've had this, and now they've dragged it out. Like I don't feel like it's a fair reflection of Gacy as a performer. But this isn't working for me. But I'm with you of like we know who it is, just reveal them. Like we know
they're gonna hold it out for like 6 more weeks.
No.
So then we got this god awful skit from a failed pilot from 1996. It's Thea Hale with a box full of shit, like box full of her own stuff, walking up and going like, I can't believe it's my first day here at Chase University. I'm going to be living in Peters Hall, the Peters Hall.
The world renowned Peters Hall or
something like that.
World famous
Peters Hall. And she walks in the door, and it is obvious that from where she's walking, she is walking through a motel. There's a motel.
With exterior corridors.
Like no friggin' dorm in the world has an exterior entrance. And so she opens it up, and it's got one of those little card readers. It's got one of the little card readers on the outside of the door. And she opens it up, and in it is 2 twin beds, and a bunch of NXT posters all over the wall, and somebody there is brushing their long hair, but it's Bodie Hayward. So Thea Hale and Bodie Hayward are going to be roomies. And look for more of these skits for the next 8 to 14 months, because they're only going to have this is the only thing they have to do for that. It's just like, hey, the Chase U has co-ed dorms now, so we're going to be roommates.
Like this was clearly a motel, and my favorite part is like they run at a Full Sail University. Like you couldn't have you run out of a college. You couldn't have done something better. Something more realistic looking.
Does Full Sail have dorms?
Oh, I don't even know if they do, but even a classroom door, like there's got to be something that could appear. I don't know.
She's also at like a 9.5 minimum the whole time. Just
why was
shrieking,
she screaming? Yeah, just yelling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. Anyway, yeah, this is it. This is what we're gonna get. This is just more. Yep. Yeah. Anyway. Jake Salazar says Chase U is basically Bishop Sycamore. Yeah. So yeah.
Like nobody's majoring in anything. Like I'm so confused.
Battle of One Jam Beard says, Alex, the way you're describing this skit, I'm expecting Jason Biggs, or the guy who played Stifler, to be part of it soon. Sean William Scott, not in this skit, would have made it better somehow.
He's fantastic. People underestimate what a good actor he is. I'm not gonna lie. Have you seen him in other stuff? He's real good.
Other than the American Pie saga and Dude, Where's My Car? No, I have not.
And wasn't he in that movie with Paul Rudd, Role Models or something?
Yeah, I must have missed
He's
that.
really funny. And even his cameo in Anchorman was great. He's really funny.
He was an Anchorman?
Wasn't he like, you've got a dart in, or Old School. You got a dart in your neck.
Old school. Old school. Yeah. Old school.
Get out of town and take a bus?
Yeah. Most comedies I despise. Like, I can't, because I don't think they're written well, and I know they're not acted well. Like,
so much.
Look at me, Kate. This is what I have wrought on myself. I can't stand Vince Vaughn. Like, not since Swingers have I been able to actually understand.
Swingers is great.
Old school, no. Wedding Crashers, even less. Dodgeball is passable because of the supporting cast around him. If it's a Vince Vaughn vehicle, you can forget about it. I'm done with it.
Did you like Swingers?
I liked Swingers, but he was young and it was.
Have you seen him in serious stuff?
Yeah, take him or leave him.
Wow.
Yeah.
The breakup. This is how much I don't want to talk about the impending Von Wagner conversation we have to have. I'm just throwing Vince Vaughn.
Do I look like a guy who's watched The Breakup, Kate?
I don't know. I made you watch The Courtship and other reality television.
Nobody has made me watch The Breakup.
I don't know. I don't know how mean your wife is to you.
Yeah. Anyway.
I like you, man, but you're crazy. He was great in Old School. How dare you?
Yeah.
Nobody, look, the chat wants you to demote me back to wrestling writer. No, I have a name.
No, it's
and I'm not a writer for wrestling.
She says
right
I should be demoted to wrestling writer.
Oh, you should be demoted to wrestling writer, even though this is your show that we're on.
That's whatever. We got a Von Wagner. He's facing the
Vince
Beach.
Von Wagner. It makes so much sense now.
Vince Von Wagner. Hey, baby, you're so money. Is that what it says? He says. Did he say that? The Beach. The Beach had a shoot injury to his right hand, and he recovered from it, and they moved on from it. He's wearing now. Not a cast, but something. His right hand is heavily taped in a way that signifies he is still getting over an injury, and they are protecting his right hand. So, of course, Von Wagner, true to his gimmick, is a dumbass who attacks the entire match the Beach's left hand. Because, I don't friggin' know. Just... There you go.
He did do that the whole match, didn't he?
When Vern Wagner turns to the side and we see his profile, I can't help but think of Phil Hartman playing Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer on SNL. Now, Unfrozen Caveman Wrestler is Nick Camaroto from AEW. That's absolutely Unfrozen Caveman Wrestler. But yeah, there's a bit. Nerd Guru says, I can't think of a match I don't want to see less than Ronda versus Mandy and or Lacey. Yuck. But then he says Von Wagner versus Omos would absolutely be the worst match to watch, and I think that's probably true.
Oh, that's teetering on. It's going to be so bad. It's fun to watch, though. That's getting there. Because they're both so big and neither of them can go.
Yeah. So Von Wagner won. I don't know what to say about this other than Von Wagner won. So there you go.
It was like he can't lock in an armbar right.
Like, not great. No,
they kept talking about the amount of pain delivered, and I was like, "Nah, it's not supposed to be to us. It's not supposed to be to the viewers. The pain is supposed to be exchanged between the two of them." Yeah. Jensen's DDT was really bad too. Like, it was the smile at the end, as if he thought he did something good, that really broke my heart. Because I was like, if you think this was progress, it was not. This was a really, really, really bad match. And then the pointing gal and his manager were there at the end.
Graham B says, didn't see NXT Kids this week, but get to the Dooja. No, Dooja's gone. Dooja. There's no Dooja. There's no Dooja. No more. There's no Dooja because the Ja part of the Do is gone. It's
they
over.
Released the Ja.
Yeah. Zach Salazar says Vern looks like Kali and Edge's love child. Something like that. Alba Fire won her match versus Lash Legend via disqualification. Alba Fire literally walking Lash Legend through this match was kind of painful to watch at times. This Lash Legend is the type of project that they would have held off of TV for 2 years while they figured out what to do with her, because she's obviously got some good points. You cannot learn how to wrestle on television. You just can't. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And she's going to get somebody seriously injured. I think in the future, if you actually train her properly, by the time that she comes back to television, she might be something. She's got good size. She's got athletic ability. She's got a personality. There's something there. Right now, none of that matters because she's going to get somebody hurt.
There's a whole show called Level Up.
I know. I mean, even that
is too far for where she's at right now. And also, like, this whole show felt like a big whiff, like I said at the beginning. And maybe it was because she came in with a wiffle ball bat. What the hell was that bat?
Yeah.
That was not Floyd. That was not Sting Crow version's bat. That bat looked like it was made out of plastic. It was stupid.
It was on fire as she walked to the ring. So I don't think it was plastic, but it's I don't know.
Don't look like wood.
She took Alba Fire's bat and hit her in the throat with it on purpose, getting herself disqualified so she wouldn't lose the match. But I mean,
it was really bad.
Kaylee Ray was champ in NXT UK for like 3 years or whatever the hell it was.
She actually felt kind of important up until they rebranded her. Like, that's what I don't understand. Why do you repackage someone to make them feel less important? But Lash Legend looks like she's going to hurt someone. She looks like she's going to hurt somebody.
Fully bring Nikki Cross back from the brink of terrible superhero-dom. Make her, like, snap again. Be a little crazy. Not Butch levels, but be a little crazy. Team her up with Dewdrop, but get rid of that friggin' name. Call up Alba Fire, and the three of them, the three Scottish girls, like, they could be a really fun, angry, trio that could do some damage.
Have Becky lead them.
Well, I mean, Becky's doing her own thing right now. I think that eventually that might be a thing that they could be her henchwomen. That's fine, but I think that Kaylee Ray's too good for this shit, man. She's just too good for this shit.
I also just don't understand why she's not on the main roster. Like, the main roster's thin, especially on SmackDown. Like, give me Alba Fire versus Shotzi Blackheart. Are you kidding?
I mean, no. Like they just, like, Rhea's hurt. Rhea can't wrestle at Money in the Bank. And so the only alternative they have is Carmella versus Bianca Belair, which we've fucking seen a bunch of times. Give me Kaylee Ray versus Bianca Belair. Are you friggin' kidding me? What are we doing? Anyway.
I don't know.
The main event is Carmelo Hayes versus Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship. The long story short, we did not get the one thing that I want out of this fucking company, which is for Tony D'Angelo to win the North American Championship and immediately put a sticker on it of the Italian flag and call it the Italian American Championship.
We don't get it right now. I'm not convinced it won't happen someday.
Maybe. The thing about it that is interesting, beyond the fact that we've spent 3 weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks of Santos and Legado being under the thumb of Tony D, and we've already moved to the end of that story. Either they do stories for way too long and just keep repeating them over and over again, the same chapter over and over again, or they don't give the story a time to let it breathe, and it just starts and finishes immediately. And that's the second one. I don't think they actually did enough with this, but it's fine. Where Santos does not give the brass knucks to Tony, he deliberately passes them to Carmelo, who uses them on Tony and gets the victory. So now there's tension, and now we're going to get more Legado versus Tony stuff. It's going to be fine. Although, are we? Because Tony D'Angelo got hurt during a house show, and Troy Donahue, a.k.a. Two Dimes, was let go because of a policy violation. And so all we have left is Stacks. So I don't know what this means for everything, but I don't know how bad Tony's hurt. I don't know any of that. I will say I do need Tony, if he's available next week, to be like to Stacks to come in and be like, hey, where's Two Dimes? And I'm like, oh, I sent him to Sicily to do a thing. He'll come back when it's done. And that's it. And maybe he never comes back, but maybe he does come back, because they say we'll hire you back next year, kid. Like, that's apparently the word that came out. So this is fine. There was a really cool like takedown into a backdrop.
Yes, that was a spot that
Tony
I had.
D'Angelo's so friggin' strong. It's really weird how strong he is for his build. Because he's
Melo
not
was like a great dance partner for him too.
Melo's great.
Yeah.
They work really well together. Melo's great for anybody, honestly.
He is, but like this was very much a
Just
collision
perfect.
of styles. Yeah, this was great.
Yeah.
Escobar's the man, dude. Like they had that segment earlier where he was just like, it's gonna turn out fine. Don't worry. And
Yes,
I
boss.
loved
Yes, boss.
Yeah. And just the way he slid, that spot goes well or it goes bad.
Yeah.
It's either cheesy as hell or it's cool as hell. Because he can say, what? I put the brass knuckles in the ring. What do you want from me? Like he
knew what he was doing. He was looking Tony dead on when he threw him to the side. It was really good. It was very defiant.
Like,
it was all right.
Slipped is such like a fun in the mob thing to do.
Don't do that. Like, if you actually run this bit, like, obviously him, like, don't be like, all right, you made one mistake, but I'll give you a second chance. No. Like, it's done. We did it. It's over again. Like, you don't need to extend the breakup. Just do the breakup now. You pulled the card. You do it.
I just really love Santos. Like,
me too.
I love how this is the first like turn probably in the reboot where I've really organically wanted to cheer for someone.
Yeah.
Like, that's been really refreshing, as I'm like, oh, he's kind of a face now. Like, that didn't take some dramatic good guy promo. That didn't take him losing 87 times. Like, he's just someone that I want to cheer for now.
Yep.
He's just so damn cool, and he's very good at every aspect of this. I don't know what they do now that Tony D's entered. You could certainly bring in more stooges for him. That could get really fun. While he's shelved, is to have more little mobsters running around, and because it's not Tony D telling them what to do, they could get, you're not the one in charge. You're not the one giving me orders or whatever. Like, there's a lot of really fun things that they could do.
Yeah.
But I loved that. And I thought the match was great. Carmelo's really good. Carmelo's really, really good. Hopefully they don't screw him up, because he's definitely a future star.
Oh.
And Our moderator, Luis, by the way, reminding you to get in your super chats and your humper chats because we are headed down the home stretch. And I forgot completely to promote the fact that we're also on Twitch, and you can send in your Twitch bits to have your statement read on the air, or even just to donate money. So,
yeah.
But yeah, this was very. I loved what bookended the show from an in-ring perspective. I did not like very much in between, but I loved this match. I thought this was fantastic. And Solo Sikoa always makes me happy, even though that match didn't like click in for me. I was very relieved to start the show with him.
Yeah.
It is also tricky, and I know they taped ahead, but you should think ahead about these things. No tag champs on the show, no Bron Breakker on the show. Like, it's not gonna feel.
No.
It's hard to pull off a great show where a lot of your championships aren't there.
Yeah. Tom LaValle says NXT 2.0. Any word if Tony D is hurt for long? I don't know.
But stay tuned to Fightful Select because there'll probably be information on that, as well as some big interviews that are going to be dropping. So we should probably promote Fightful Select too and tell you all to subscribe.
Yes. In better wrestling news, Tony Nese won a Pure Rules match in his fight at U next week for the title. That'll be fun. Also, Mercedes and Deeb are building towards what should be a really good match by tagging together. Yep, that's also good. I will take that forever. Jake Salazar says they'll take all three. Alba Fire, Nikki Cross, and Dewdrop and call them Scott's Tots.
Oh, God, the cringiest episode of The Office.
Yep. Riot DR says, I miss Cameron Grimes' hat. Do we ever get a kayfabe reason why he's not wearing the hat anymore? I don't know. It's a good hat.
No, probably to show off his new hair.
Yeah, there you go. Chris Muller says, haven't been able to tune in for a bit, but wanted to stop and say hi. Hope you two and everyone in the chat as well. I hope Waller stubs his toe. I also hope Grayson Muller stubs his toe.
We love it when you stop by. The originator of the Shamrock Shake nickname.
Jake Salazar says, Mr. Pringle, young Minoru Suzuki may be fine, but he ain't no Keith Lee. I don't know, man. I like Keith Lee. I'm a big fan of the Keith Lee, but
I'll just say indubitably.
Yeah. And Zachary says Marina Shafir is a badass. She is a badass.
She's definitely a badass, and I think she's going to be great with some more experience.
Yes, agreed. So we got a lot of stuff here. On Drizzleton says, how bad does NXT have to get before KLX just stop and do the characters for several hours each Tuesday?
We're getting there.
We're
every week,
there.
buddy.
We're getting there. By the way, that leads us into the jukebox, and we have a lot. So here we go. Well, here we go. We got this
gosh.
One. Yeah.
You guys are awesome to us. Thank you.
We got JW Pringle saying, do you watch the Boba Fett's or the Obi-Wans? We could talk about that for 2 hours with Linda and Sheila. I stopped watching the Star Wars when the little teddy bears were throwing spears. I said no to that, and I moved on with my life, and I never looked back. I'm sorry to say I do not watch the Boba Fett's or the Obi-Wans.
I don't watch the Star Wars. I don't understand why they're always fighting. It seems rude.
Well, there's war in the stars. I remember this. It was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
See, I fall asleep right after that part.
I don't understand why, if it was a long time ago, how they can be so far into the future with all their blasters and their things.
That does seem like
they
very
have
advanced
intergalactic
technology.
Space travel, but how was it a long time ago? Was it like, during the
I watched on
was
this
it during
podcast,
the Oregon Trail?
You would know better than I would.
I would.
I will say I saw this podcast episode on a channel called Know Ya News. It was all about aliens. Maybe it had to do with the alien technology.
Jake Salazar says, huge fan of the Obi-Wans. The Darth Vader is vastly dangerous and violent, and I love it. Well, he's the Darth Vader. He's the Darth Vader. So here we go. The Battle of One Jam Beard says, in honor of Maddie Minus, can Alex sing Like a Virgin by Madonna? I'll do it as Gunther, because you didn't ask for anything. We haven't done a Gunther in a while.
Gunther.
I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through. Ooh, didn't know how lost I was until I found you. I was beat, incomplete. I'd been had. I was sad and blue, but you made me feel. Yeah, you made me feel shiny and new. Ooh, like a virgin. Touched for the very first time, like a virgin, when your heart beats next to mine.
That should have been regal. That deserved regal treatment. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, we got more regal on the way. So we need for in honor of Zach going to Poland for the army. Please sing William Regal singing "Fortunate Son" by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays "Hail to the Chief," ooh, they point the cannon at you, Lord. It ain't me, I ain't no senator's son. It ain't me, ain't no fortunate one, no. Some folks are born, silver spoon in hand. Lord, don't they help themselves, sunshine. But when the tax man comes to the door, Lord, the house looks like a rummage sale. Yeah. It ain't me, I ain't a millionaire's son. No. It ain't me, I ain't no fortunate one. No. War games.
Well played.
Yeah, there you go. We have for Zach going to the Poem for the Army, sing Army by Ben Folds in the accent of Kate's choice.
It's gonna throw you for a little loop in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Nathan Fraser.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Hold on. I want to get this thing because sometimes this doesn't actually show up. Here we go.
You don't know the words
I
to
know.
Army by Ben Folds?
Oh,
All about the army. He said, son, you're high.
Oh, come on. I don't want this. All these websites, they always. Oh, here we go. Okay. Stop it with the ads. Always with the ads.
Always with the ads. Like Blue Chew and Magic Spoon?
Well, I thought about the army. Dad said you're fucking high. And I thought, well, yeah, there's a first for everything. So I took my old man's advice. 3 sad semesters. I was only 15 grand spent in bed. Well, I thought about the army. Dropped out and joined a band instead. Grew a mustache and a mullet. Got a job at the Chick-fil-A. Certain artistic differences. The band broke up in May. And in June, reformed without me. And they got a different name. I nuked another grandma's apple pie and hung my head in shame. Oh, I've been thinking a lot today. I think I'll write a screenplay. I think I'll take it to LA. I think I'll get it done yesterday. Oh, shit. Oh, Bob's your uncle.
That was a great choice by me, not to like pat myself on the back too much, but
it's good. We get Tony D doing Informer from NCB has requested this. It's been done. We've already done it, but I'll do it.
It's all been done.
Oh, come on. I hate these websites that reload every time because they make me lose my place. What's up, man? Hey, yo, what's up? Yeah, what's going on here? Sick and tired of 5-0 running up the block. Hey, Informer. You know, stay daddy me snow go. I go blame. A licky boom boom damn. Detectives the man say daddy show me stab someone down the lane. A licky boom boom. Licky boom boom. What the hell? Informer, I say no daddy, no Donald blame a licky boom boom. Who's licking the boom boom? I don't want to lick no boom booms. Thank you. But licky boom boom, detective man say that.
Gabagool.
Gabagool.
Thank you.
Tony D reciting Bad Habit by the Offspring. Oh God. What there are ads literally everywhere. When I go driving, I stay in my lane, but getting cut off makes me insane. I open the glove box, reach inside. I'm gonna wreck this guy's ride. I guess I got a bad habit of blowing away. Yeah, I got a bad habit. Yeah, and I ain't going away. Yeah. We're running out of time, everybody. Here, kind of get down. Jada Pringle says Kate knows Ben Folds. Color me impressed.
Oh, I love Ben Folds. Great live concert too. Learn to Live with What You Are is like probably a top 50 song for me.
Jedby Pringle says, can this be the new outro for NXT 2 Blow? Come what may. Time and the hour runs through the roughest day. A little bit of Shakespeare.
That's very sweet.
No, there's no way I'm getting to this today. We'll do it next week. I promise. Yes. But I'm going to say goodbye to everybody because we're going to get out into 2 hours. Because
we are. Find us on the socials and watch all of our shows.